I'm sure you've gotten either texts or calls or emails about Bill Walton the
So we were in Dallas at a showcase for my son for this Thanksgiving weekend, and one of the coaches came up to me. He was like, "Man, I don't want to ever hear your damn name mentioned again." I'm like, "What?" He says, "Bill Walton said your name so many times on the broadcast." I'm like, "Hey," I said. He said, "Did you pay him that night?" I'm like, "No, dude."
other.
Bill Walton he is. I don't know why. I think it goes back from when him and Snapper used to do. I love them the two together when they used to do the show, do the NBA TV games, and it was so great to hear him talk. And now I guess he just fell in love with me. He likes me so.
Yeah, I don't know. So they were at this was Bill at the Alabama versus UConn game Friday night during the Phil Knight Invitational on ESPN. Here's hopefully you can hear this down the line. Here's Bill Walton talking about Robert Horry.
Last night you asked me about Robert Horry. Yes. And why he belongs in the Hall of Fame. The Andalusia native from Alabama who basically contributed to so many championships. And you hear all the time about the coaches who watching sacrifice to make the team work. That's what Robert Horry did. And so if you're going to for sacrifice, you got to reward sacrifice. Robert Horry sacrificed so that the team could win. They did win. Robert Horry is a most deserving member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. He wrote the history.
That is high praise.
I know. I got two people behind me now, Bill Walton and Rudy T. That are in the house.
Bill. I'll tell you what, though, if you got to put a couple people in your pocket, those aren't two bad voices to have on your side.
Yeah,
a guy like Rudy who had to lobby to get in, and Bill Walton, who I think still commands a lot of respect in NBA circles.
Yeah, the thing about Bill is every time I see him, he goes out of his way to talk to me, and I go on my way to talk to him. Such a wonderful guy, and for a guy, and the people who don't know who Bill Walton is, you got to look at him before he got injured. This dude was like Kareem. He was a bad mofo. He was one of those guys that could do everything in the post. He could block shots. He won that championship in Portland and in Boston. So he was a phenomenal player. But when you got a guy like this who knows basketball, UCLA grad, I'm very appreciative of this. And when I heard it always makes me like, if I was sensitive, I would shed a tear right now. But I just I'm at a loss for words when you have guys of this high praise you.
Yeah, and I'm out to ESPN to try and get Bill to join us on Show 100.
Okay,
we'd love to have Bill on just to let him throw flowers at your feet like you need that for an hour. Like Coming to America, just drop roses petals on the floor for you to walk on. But
when I say the boy got his own money,
he's got his own money. You know what, though? I think that guys like Bill, who have been around long enough and watched a lot of basketball in different generations, I think the role that you played in the day that you played isn't really a prominent role in the NBA today. Because it's kind of like we were talking about earlier. Everybody's just trying to get their points. Everybody wants their flowers. And it's more about that than it is about, what do I have to do to get this team to win? Do you want me to – you got to put me in the post? Fine, I'll go to the post. I don't care. Whatever I got to do to get us a W, that's what we're going to do. And for me, when I think about your career, that is the overarching thing. It was always, I'll be here to make the shot when I can make the shot, but I'm not going to demand the shot.
Yeah.
But when you need me to take it, I'll take it, and I'm going to hit it because, hence your nickname and the name of this show. But, you were always in a role where it was like, I'll do what I got to do. And I just don't think a lot of guys in the NBA play that way.
I had this conversation with a guy this weekend, and I said, I don't think people understand the sacrifice so many players in my era made, because you got the guys who demanded the basketball, who deservedly so demanded the basketball. And then the ball kind of went there and you figured it out. And if you go back also and look at all those guys, when one of those big dogs were out, that's probably when they got the career high or something of that nature. And because there's so many times, I take 2005 when I went off against, Detroit. None of those plays was run for me. I had no plays called for me. It's just one of those ones you just take the shot because you got the shot. And it's a different when you like, okay, we're gonna run this play for Tim, we're gonna run this play for Dream, we're gonna run this play for Shaq. And it's a different, like, you coming off a screen, that's your shot. You waiting like this. Hey, I'm open. Please leave me so I can get a shot off. And it's hard to get a rhythm sometimes in that sense. So, but in this day and age, you should be able to get a rhythm because you're gonna come down and you got the green light, just jack it. I'm watching the game the other night, and this player, I ain't gonna call him out. He came down, shot the ball 5 times in a row, 2 air balls, and still act like he was hot. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And never got subbed out. And to me, that's just bad basketball. As a teammate, back in the day, if a guy came down to 2 ill-advised shots, we go on to him and say, dude, don't shut the fucking ball no more. Pass the ball.
Or you're going to sit. Or you're going to sit for a few minutes. Yeah.
Or we won't pass it to him. And we're going to tell the coach, get this motherfucker out the game.
Yeah. Sit him for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that. I just like when guys like Bill, who've been around long enough, understand what you did when you played.
I'm
they get it.
Yes,
they get it. It's cool.